SportPesa National 7th Circuit, and this is what they call the busiest day of the tournament, the busiest end of the tournament. So right behind me, we have Mombasa Sports Club playing against Zitrek Oaks in the Challenge quarterfinals, but today all the eyes will be on the main cup quarterfinals. And just to take you through, in case you didn't know what happened yesterday, Mwamba, out of the all teams, caused a huge upset in topping their pool after beating Cabras, and they are in the main cup quarterfinal for the first time this season under the leadership of Lavin Asego, one of the brightest fly halves Kenya has ever produced. And who are the other 7 teams to make it into the main cup quarterfinals? We have Kenya Harlequins, we have Strathmore, we have Mwamba themselves, Catholic Monks also in the building, Menengai Oilers, and Nakuru, who will be playing in the Nakuru Derby. That is a match to watch out for. We also have KCB Rugby and perennial rivals Cabras Sugar, which is one of the highlight games. I'm telling you, today is gonna be fire-packed, today is gonna be epic, because all the action is happening right down here at the Nakuru Athletic Club. So who will it be? Remember, it's a knockout match. You lose your game, that's it. You have to win your game to make it to the main cup semi-finals. Strathmore Leos are the defending champions here after winning in 2024, so we're waiting to see if they'll be able to defend their crown. But for today, it's just gonna be like that. The 8 teams, the teams to watch out for, I've already told you. So we are gonna see what the action unfolds. I'm gonna take you to the action, but before that, it's Rada Safi na Biggie who's gonna give you a brief highlight of how the first outing of the 2025 SportPesa National 7s was. And this is Rada Safi na Biggie.
Welcome to the new edition of Rada Safi na Biggie. Rada Safi na Biggie is all about good vibes, powered by SportPesa.
Rada Safi na Biggie.
Ini Rada Safi na Biggie. Kata simu, tupo site. County 001, tuko in the house, tuko in the area na Mazejo. Na tumekama hapa hivi kujua, ukishika over 420 million Kenya shillings ya mega jackpot ya SportPesa, utafanya nini nayo kaka?
Naweza jenga nayo nyumba, ni kufungue biashara kama ya manguo hivi, ya nguo za watoto.
Okay, mimi nikishinda bro, mimi nitanunua ploti, nijengea wazazi wangu. Alafu pia ile ambayo itakuwa baki napiga sherehe bro.
Inabaki hapo ni kama 410 million. Unapiga yote sherehe?
Bro mzee, unajua tuishi once bro. Hata mwili lazima upige pole kidogo na mabesi ya nini.
Shikilia. Haya, ukashinda hii pesa 420 million Kenya shillings. Utafanyia nini?
Nitanunua my island.
Wapi?
Wasini.
Najenga nyumba kubwa na nanunua gari, alafu mambo mengine nafanya miradi yangu, yani mimi kutoka kuajiriwa mimi. Spendi tu, hata kama kwenda Amerika naenda huko nikaenjoy maisha yangu vizuri. Sijawahi kupanda ndege, nitapanda nayo hiyo niende Amerika huko na nini. Kula bata vizuri.
Mimi ni fan of SportPesa. Nachezanga sana mega jackpot. Hapo msee ni kupumua kwanza. Nitulie hivi kwanza, akili irudi vizuri. Ndo sasa nipangie mikakati vizuri sasa.
With 400 constructing immediately. I think I'm tired of paying rent.
Nitajua jinsi ya kuboresha maisha yangu ili nisiwahi sota. Nione kama naweza fungua biashara hivi.
Wadau, this could be you bana. As we said, Rada Safi na Biggie is all about good vibes, and it is happening now.
All eyes on us.
Good vibes are inshallah. Hey, inaweza mbaya. SportPesa is doing the best actually.
I'm here for the vibes, and the vibes should be here for me.
Vibe iko top notch. I'll see your vibe iko top notch mazee.
Driftwood 7 leo imebamba bana, imeweza kinoma.
tunahitajia support kwa players especially na pia ku bring up the game, to up the game. So the more the merrier.
Asanteni sana for sponsoring, and I like to see what you have in store for us.
Prinsloo tupata Nakuru, so tukama up kesho tumalizie Shukenox.
Prinsloo 7, we are there. Nakuru Sport Athletics Club,
Yes, yes.
we will be there. Nakuru, we are coming. Dume Zabo.
Straight from Mombasa County, this is Rada Safi na Biggie, Rada Safi na SportPesa. We out!
Rada Safi
Na Biggie.
Rada Safi
Na SportPesa.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome. Welcome to the Nakuru County. This is the newest city in town, Nakuru City. This is the home of Nakuru Rugby Club, Menengai Oilers, and of course the home of Prinsloo 7. My name is Walter Orangi. Welcome to this bright morning, coming to you from the Great Rift. Very warm welcome to Eli, karibu sana. Day 2, we are keen to see what comes this beautiful Sunday morning. However, the closure of yesterday set the tone for today, to Eli.
Absolutely, Walter. We had a good number of fixtures yesterday that were eye-popping, and for me, one that comes top of my mind is the Cabras loss. Yeah, Cabras losing that game to Mwamba and just upending the tables in their pool. And that pool was really the one to watch because we had to wait until the last game to have an idea of what the pairing was. And also seeing Mwamba RFC with very nice performances, 2 straight wins. By the time they were going for the third fixture, they were already having their feet in the quarterfinals. And that was a big step up, coming in 4th seeded in their pool and then finishing the first seeds in their pool. That was really something that caught my eye. So really looking forward to these knockout games. That's where we are going to see, that's where boys will be separated from men.
Yes, definitely, boys coming out of, actually men coming out of the boys.
Yes.
It's a group of boys who are competing. Prinsloo 7, the second stop of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit 2025. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Coming to you live from the Nakuru Athletic Club. This club, ladies and gentlemen, is celebrating 100 years of existence. 100.
Big, no mean achievement, that one. And the history around Nakuru is really great. In fact, this particular tournament is the second longest running. It had a it had a long stint of 25 years when it was named Nakuru Sevens, just between 1949 and 1974, until it was brought back in the 80s by Prinsloo himself, just reigniting interest in rugby sevens in Nakuru, and they were onboarded onto the National Sevens Circuit in 2007. So really Nakuru has a lot of history to it when it comes to rugby.
Yes, the history is rich, and most definitely a beautiful, rich history created, of course, century on the mark, and looking forward to the next century. Hopefully it builds a future of Nakuru sports, because this is a multi-sports facility.
Yeah.
And it's something that it exists within the city, it's within town, it's big enough, it has quite the space that you need in terms of development. Even if they ever wanted to develop this into a fully fledged stadium, this would have enough space, and they would do so well with developing it.
Yeah, just looking around, they will easily have 5 pitches here. What we normally see on the tennis courts with different courts, but the space here is quite massive. That's why the Division 2 games are just being played right across the Division 1 field. So a really fantastic ground to host rugby sevens, and for all the enthusiasts, please make your way here if you're on the road.
Yes, if you haven't made your way to the Nakuru Athletics Club, this is your chance. This is the first match of the day. This is the first Challenge Cup quarterfinal match. Mombasa Sports Club taking on the Z-Tech Oaks. So ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of Live Eye, grab yourself something warm, something hot, something this morning to really cheer you up and grab your front row seat. This is the HD center for the Prinsloo Sevens. Now folks, that is another try for the Zetec Oaks, taking matters seriously this morning. Remember, this game is a serious one. The winner here books a place at the Christie Sevens. The loser here drops to the Division 2 category, so it's an all-stakes game. The stakes are high, and this is the business end of this year's Prinsloo 7. So it's all to play for today. It's knockout. You snooze, you from the semis, you drop out of any semi-final match, you head straight home.
Yeah, I mean, Zetec have had that in their minds from the time they were promoted to come play in the Prinsloo Sevens, and they're doing a good job of booking their ticket for the next Division 1 tournament. Mombasa will have to wait for an invitation if it comes their way, but Zetec doing quite well, 31 for the good so far.
Yes, Zetec getting promoted last weekend from the Division 2 category at the Mombasa Sports Club, where we had the first of the SportPesa National 7 Circuit Caravan Tours. And I mean, it's a statement. Division 2 category team qualified, has been able to hold a bit of their own. Took on Mombasa, and they've made Mombasa look like, I mean, they look like the one who have been promoted from Division 2, really.
Yeah, you wouldn't, if you're just watching them for the first time, you would think that Zetec Oaks have been here in the Division 1. However, that's not the case. This is their first appearance. Mombasa, for them, is the second appearance, and looks like it will be the last one as the final whistle goes there, and Zetec leading in that one, winning that one 31-0 against Mombasa FC. We'll wait to see whether we'll see them later on in the Division 1 circuit. They'll have to contend with qualifying for that. As we move on quickly, things are now flowing fast and furious here for the second Challenge Cup quarterfinals. And that one is up between Impala RFC and Kisumu RFC. Kisumu RFC also making their first appearance in the Division 1 tournament at the Prinsloo. Impala, of course, with the second one.
Kisumu will be playing host to the rugby fraternity in a couple of weeks. Remember, Dallas Sevens is slated to be coming up. First things first, time now for Impala to book a ticket to their neighboring rivals, the Christie Sevens. Kickoff, Impala kicking us off 10 meters plus into the Kisumu RFC's half. Kisumu RFC steady, the platform is set, swinging the ball wide. Kisumu swinging the passes, playing in dangerous territory. It's a grabber there, looking to turn Impala around. It's touch. It's Matoka with ball in hand. Impala have started off strongly. They've put pressure on Kisumu RFC. Kisumu RFC have had to respond by kicking that ball, and it's gone into touch. That is a small win in this battle.
Yeah, Impala, you know, coming off a strong performance yesterday. Unfortunately, they find themselves here, but they managed to give us the second draw yesterday when they played Masinde Muliro. and also managing to beat Mwamba FC, but in that match that ended 14-10 in their favor. However, that wasn't sufficient enough for them to make it to the main cup quarterfinals. They have to contend with this one and secure their place for the Christie Sevens.
Most definitely, it's all about securing their chance to play at the Christie Sevens. Gideon Makumi looking to feed that scrum. Well, it was a line out for Impala, who eventually lost that line out in that small battle. And an opportunity here to try and attack Kisumu RFC. Gideon Makumi has David Nyangige on the blind side, just making Kisumu RFC make a decision on if they'll need to position somebody on that channel. Nyangige comes round, Nyangige passes the ball, looking for a short run there through the middle part. That is Matoka who quickly taps and goes. The referee asks them to go 10. Matoka kicks behind them. The bounce now looking straight and needed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as the referee looks to consult, that looks like a try to my eyes.
Yeah, close one, that one, taking down the spectators there, and the ref calls it as in touch. It was touch and go really there, but the referee adjudges it to be out of the penalty of the try box area.
Come close to mark, guys. Crouch.
Kisumu survived that attack.
Bind. Stretch.
Looking now to fashion their own escape.
Number 6. Shoving not straight.
Not shoving straight, the call there by the referee.
Bind the keeper.
Agri Kitoi looking for touch and doesn't get touch. David Nyangige fielding that long kick. Impala strong on the attack.
No hands, Kisumu.
No clean balls so far for either side. It's been rugged. Gideon Matoka, sorry, that is Gideon Makumi. Matoka now taking charge. Matoka looking to drive his team forward, but apprehended there. Good sweeper business there for Kisumu. Swung to Timothy Makia looking for Amon Bwambok. Amon sets the platform there. Kinyari to Gideon Makumi's shows and passes it straight into Agri's Kitoi's hands. Kitoi had pace back in the day, but is now laboring towards the try line. Kisumu with a grand opportunity, just needing to beat that one defender, but defense for Impala arrived, but so many numbers to the outside, just swinging it all offside, and an opportunity here to play for Kisumu. Referee playing an advantage. That's a knock-on. There wasn't an offside there.
There was a tackle here that was completed, and you will think that the retreating players from Impala were offside after that tackle. The referee never saw that, and the hue and cry from the bench, Kisumu bench, about that particular call. They expected more than just a scrum down in favor of Impala there.
Well, there was an offside, but the player that made that tackle, if you see from this replay, the player that made that tackle was onside.
Guys.
However, I think the person who came, Derek Kinyari, who came to counteract, maybe was probably in an offside position.
Yeah, prior to that breakdown, there was another one that involved a tackle, and I think it's from that they were thinking that they interfered with the options, the attacking options of Kisumu RFC there. However, both teams, turning over possession, and Kisumu doing well to intercept that one and turning defense into attack, coming all the way into Impala's territory. But now they have to get back onto their horses here just to defend that particular one. Bundled into touch from Impala, losing possession there, gifting it back to Kisumu RFC. Referee calls it timeout for a medical break. I think there's a player that is down and needs some attention.
Time on.
Time back on.
This is your mark, ref.
Gets back to his feet, gets back into action.
This is your mark, White.
trying to get away from his marker there, Timothy Makia. But he had to contend with the touch also. Not sufficient space for him to complete that run. Kisumu also having some good show yesterday. Having one of the most popular tries when they were playing against Catholic Monks, scoring right at the end, Kipchirchir. One that they have to look out for, number 14. Now waiting for his time with ball in hand. Gets it, but it's not a good ball for him to work with. Just to set a platform for the next phase of attack. Kisumu get it and swing it out to their left. Numbers here 2-on-1. And just when he had a clear highway, just eager to get going. Never caught the ball well. Knocks it on. David Williams guilty of just losing that opportunity. Bit of a start-stop of a match here. Being the second match in the challenge quarterfinals. A lot of action to come later on. Of course, immediately after this, we still have Daystar Falcons taking on Stallions. Then Nondescript taking on Masinde Muliro to finish the challenge quarterfinals. Evasive run by Matoka, stepping in off his left foot and keeping the defenders on check there. Ball goes out to this flyer. Timothy Makia once more. Floats back in. Numbers out. But he decides to park the defense there. Attracting three Kisumu players. Numbers out to their right if they can move the ball quite fast. Just step up a bit. That pass missing its mark. Just affording Kisumu the opportunity to reset. Now they go into bruising contest there. But he was leading with his forearm. The referee calls it. And I guess he's going to issue a warning here.
That's a good play.
That's a good one, yeah. I don't see a forearm leading there. But the referee called that one for leading with the forearm. Shoulder contest, though he finished with the arm.
Well, it's a cagey affair. It's one of those games that you really don't know what it now needs. Individuals to step up. It needs individual brilliance to come to the fore. It needs that one player to actually decide to take the team forward, because they've been swinging the ball so much. Nobody has had a clear line break as such. And as we speak of a line break there, Kisumu looking to attack the outside, but then going to the edge and goes into touch. That is halftime, and it's a very cagey halftime score. The halftime score: Impala RFC 0, Kisumu RFC 0.
Ready?
Kisumu FC kicking us off for the second half. This KG affair. Goalless scores here. No points coming from the first half from both sides. Not much being made in terms of ball in possession. The attacking hasn't been varied. They have been able to shepherd each other one-on-one. And that is something that they need to mix it up as the referee urgently stops the game. Seems like there was a head clash between two Impala players. Have to wait for a replay of that one, but seems to have been something we're listening and just here. Yeah, there seems to have been a contest airborne, and Matoka on the ground there having received some attention. That particular collision there, yeah, the Kisumu player guilty of interfering with the jumper. Number 21,
Captain.
Byron Odur is gonna face some sanctions here, probably very serious.
Time on.
Yeah, that one was a tackle in the air. Byron Odur gets 2 minutes in the sin bin, and this is the opportunity that probably Impala have been waiting for. If they are to make an impact in this game. Remember, you're not supposed to contest, you're not supposed to touch. The responsibility is on you, who is jumping up to ensure that whoever is actually higher than you and with the rights to the ball is not interfered with. Matoka just identifying the gap, running into it, but not protecting the ball in that contact, spills it in the tackle, gives the ball back to Kisumu RFC with just with 6 on 7. Walter, you would think that Impala should be more clinical with ball in hand. They only have like what, a minute remaining of that sin bin. Should take advantage of this one.
Yes, you'd expect Impala to do so well in that, but they've done so much and counteract there.
An intentional obstruction there called by the referee, and they reset for another scrum down. Time being taken here by Kisumu, managing this yellow card very well, not conceding any points as they count down for their full complement to be back on. Impala have to make use of this particular ball. That missed pass just transferred pressure, but a good run there, going all the way to score the first try for Impala. Timothy Makia fends off his defender, goes all the way. Impala needed that one.
Yes, Impala needed that one. It has been a struggle. It had to come down 6v7. That is Timothy Makia on the outside there, getting the first 5-pointer for Impala. Navi moments this whole game, and there Impala strike fast. Kisumu RFC there caught. The numbers were not adding up there as Makia goes over for that try. However, it's 5. It narrowly turns into 7. And now the job or the onus is on Kisumu to actually try and mount a comeback. Now Kisumu know very well that this game is in the second half, and they have to score, and they have to score next.
Yeah, good for them. They are back to the full complement of 7, and time running out for them here. If they can apply pressure on Impala, just ensure that they have something to think about, even as they have ball in hand. That's an offside play.
That's an offside.
Very
Referee.
cheeky.
I mean, he just milked it.
Yeah.
That is a typical milking of a penalty. Now, what he did there, the halfback there noticed that Kisumu FC were offside. John Baraka was retreating, and when went straight into
That's
the
very
man.
mischievous.
I think that is a very, very tricky play there. That is David Nyangige.
Yeah,
Besides being a good halfback, he's also very, very nimkora.
Yes, because he forced the referee's hand there. I mean, in sevens, offside interfering with play in offside is a straight yellow. And he forced the referee to dish that one out.
Yeah, David Nyangige there. Wrapping round, missing that mark. Gideon Makumi, yes. Controlling this game through the midfield there. Derek loses his feet, falls, gets up again, continues, takes several Kisumu players. Kisumu now, I mean, they're defending so many in number and being attracted to the ruck area. That means that if Impala can swing this ball out wide, they could be having overlaps. And it all comes down to execution there. Gideon Matoka receiving it, carrying the ball in two hands. Just deceivingly, people would think that he was about to pass. That's a try for Impala. Second try for Impala RFC in the second half. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, left. I don't think Matoka is okay to continue. The medical teams are ushered to get onto the pitch.
Indeed, Walter, you're spot on what Kisumu are doing, defending in numbers, being attracted to the breakdowns, and therefore overshooting in defense. Impala's execution hasn't been the best when they get such opportunities. The passes have been either shoulder high or back or the boot laces, and that really slows down the attacking ball. But in this instance, the inside pass did the job for Impala, though Matoka got the attentions of the defender while scoring, and I don't think he's playing on in this match.
Conversion is unsuccessful. That is Impala 12, Kisumu 0. Coming up next, we have Daystar Falcons taking on the Stallions. Now that's the third Challenge Trophy quarter-final game. Remember, later on we have big games coming up, big match. Kenya Harlequins taking on the Strathmore Leos in the opening cup quarter-final match. Mwamba RFC will be taking on the Catholic Monks. Menengai Oilers will be squaring it out with their Driftwood champions will be taking on Kabras Sugar RFC. Another chance for KCB and Kabras to renew their rivalry. Battle lines are drawn, champions on the line.
Yeah, very mouth-watering cup quarterfinals there. And we'll just want to see who emerges, gets into the semi-finals, and it will be a good opportunity for those who finals in Mombasa. If they can lead them the cup semi-finals in Mombasa, if they think interesting to watch. Kabras and KCB, of course, meeting earlier this time round. Last time when they met in Mombasa, it was a very gritty affair, ending 10-5 in favor of KCB. This time round, they meet in the quarterfinals, and Kabras really risking losing momentum in terms of the
racing park. And you know, egos come into play here when it comes to trophies. And the trophies now in the country have always been shared for the last couple of years between KCB and Kabras. So it's a chance for our top two sides, arguably our top two sides in the country, in terms of the quality and depth, to take on each other as that forward call is called there by the referee. So it's good times coming up. This is Nakuru Athletics Club celebrating 100 years, and you, the fans, thank you so much for coming through, joining us and following this live stream from across the globe. Our friends in the diaspora, our friends in Africa, our friends in Asia, South America, North, Australia, the Aussies, and everybody else. Karibuni, this is the SportPesa National 7th Circuit. This is where we draw our talent from This is where Kenya Sevens gets its players from. These are the future stars, ladies and gentlemen, as Kisumu RFC make forays into the Impala RFC's half. First time this second half that Kisumu are piecing something together, and it's brought to a stop there by a knock on the floor. However, they're lucky enough to have possession. Kisumu, time has run out, and this could be a case of too little, too late.
Yeah, Godfrey Namai taking to his heels there, but was mowed down just short of the 22. Kisumu not clinical with possession, and from the ensuing rack, they didn't make much of it. And whatever their score here, I think they've run out of time, and Impala should be looking and booking their ticket for the next Division 1, being hosted by Harlequins, the Christie Sevens. Not shoving straight is the call. A quick tap there by Kisumu, trying to finish strongly here. They carry and offloading the tackle, looking to go out wide, but John Otieno just gets into contact there. Ball not created there as they go to the left. Marcelius Odori steps back in. Kisumu slowly grinding their way towards Impala's try line here. Another show and go there by Mikal Habil, but Impala savvy to that, stop them, their tracks. No advantage being played for not being 10. Tries to go route 1, but gets knocked down. Godfrey Namai, not 10. This might result in a yellow card, repeated infringement. Yeah, same call, not 10, twice in a row. That will attract most heavy sanctions from the referee, and in this case, Impala lose a player to the bin. The hoot has gone really, and this is just an issue of saving face here for Kisumu if they get to score and, of course, finish at the high. Stretching and scoring despite getting tackled at the try line. Barry Opondo giving some gloss to the Kisumu scoreline here.
Barry Opondo serving Kisumu's blushes in this game, at least getting some points on the scoreboard against Impala. Agri Kitoi getting the extra 2. That is a full-time scoreline. Impala RFC 12, Kisumu RFC 7. And Impala safe. They've sailed into the Christie Sevens. A draw, very important for them. And Kisumu RFC have to go back to the drawing board and, of course, decide if they'll want to take part in the Christie Sevens tournament. And that will be seen later on. So, ladies and gentlemen, quick in succession, in goes Daystar Falcons. The Falcons there taking on Stallions Rugby. This is the Prinsloo Sevens. Match day 2, the business end. The third challenge trophy quarter-final match. After this, we'll have Nondis taking on Masinde Muliro to decide the final challenge trophy semi-pairing. Remember, if you lose in the cup if you lose in the challenge quarter-final games, you drop to the position games. They'll be playing the 13th place semis later on, the losers, and we'll have the challenge trophy semi later on. Kicking us off, Daystar. Eddie Wambugu goes high with a long hanging kick. Duncan Olile was coming off the bench yesterday quite often, but today, early days, and we have Duncan unleashed. Penalty there to Daystar Falcons. An early opportunity for them to kick down. Looking for touch. That ball bouncing sweetly into touch 5 or 6 or 7 meters out. That's a very, very good kick.
Yeah, one of the best touch finders we've seen in this tournament so far. Putting them right into the red zone for the Stallions in the 5-meter channel with the possession of the ball. They need to secure this line out. They have to strike early enough in this first half, just seconds into the game.
Yes, they do have to strike early. Stallions challenge, they go up. The trick with that line out is you have to go up just to create that impression that you challenge, and hopefully hope that that all thrower would not throw it straight. Now the ball has been lost forward there. Stallions asked to attack from deep. Zulik Buyuni has wheels for days. Kicks, chases behind. It's now a foot race between Duncan Olile and Zulik Buyuni, and the big man in Duncan Olile is quite fast for his size. That's a turnover there. Beautifully perfected. Duncan Shamala quickly taps and goes. Players not 10 meters out, and the referee will have a double blow. That is a definite yellow card for the Daystar Falcons. Well played there for the Stallions.
Yeah, Stallions just turning defense into attack and gaining all of 75 meters. Also benefiting here with a penalty and now with an attacking ball in Falcons 22. They have an extra man opportunity for them to score quickly here. Stallions with a good setup there.
Stallions looking to attack, score fast. Set the early pace. Duncan Shamala with ball in hand. Shamala feeds the scrum. Cedric Abiniza, referee playing an advantage. Lawrence Dungu gives it to Zulik Buyuni, who looks to take on Obuya on the outside. Obuya strong.
It was bound to happen. They had numbers, an extra man out. They made hard work of hitting the front in these third challenges, quarterfinals. And Daystar
have early days, just 5 points to the good for Stallions. Lawrence Ndogo misses the conversion. It's an interesting start. 6v7. They've taken advantage of that 2 minute in the sin bin for the Daystar Falcons player. I guess that is Kiragori, if I'm not wrong, who was sent to the bin. His 2 minutes have been to the detrimental of least attack. Eddie Duncan swings wide.